Hello and thanks for stopping by. This is Sky Skipper for the Atari 2600, and I'm playing this game off of a cartridge on a Retron 77 console. Sky Skipper was originally an arcade game by Nintendo that apparently didn't do very well. It only had a limited release in the arcade, and rumor is they converted a bunch of the planned arcade cabinets over into Popeye consoles instead, because Sky Skipper just wasn't very well received early on in the arcade. This particular version was published by Parker Brothers for the 2600 back in 1983, and like most Atari 2600 games, you're just looking for a high score. There are two difficulties in this one. Basically, if you set it to A, your plane's going to move faster, and you set it to B and you're going to move slower. This game, you pilot a biplane, and you're flying around trying to rescue captured animals. Animals that were apparently captured by a gorilla. This is the Atari 2600, and for some reason, video games of this era loved gorillas. Maybe they were just easy to program, I'm not sure, but they seem to pop up in Atari games. Seriously, we have this game, we have Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., King Kong, Amidar, and of course, Congo Bongo. I mean, seriously, they lit a gorilla on fire in this one. Now, I was a kid in the 80s, I don't remember gorillas being such a big thing, but the 2600 makes it seem like we were all into gorillas back then. I can't explain it. So in Sky Skipper, you pilot a plane and you have a fuel meter at the bottom of the screen. This is your ticking clock. If this meter runs out, you lose a life. Simple enough. Before your fuel runs out, you need to rescue all of the caged animals to clear the level. To do this, you need to first release the animals from their cages. You do this by flying over the gorilla and pressing the fire button to drop a bomb. If you drop a bomb on the gorilla, he flips upside down for a period of time. Not forever. Apparently it's not a very good bomb. But when the gorilla falls over, the cage is all open, and then you need to fly over and scoop up as many animals as you can. The problem is that the time the gorilla is flipped over isn't long enough for you to get all the animals, so you're going to have to bomb the gorilla, go get some of the animals, then bomb the gorilla again so you can go back for the rest. The animals are arranged in clusters of 3. Turtles, cats, ducklings, rabbits. You should probably be able to scoop one section of animals at a time when you do get the gorilla knocked over. When you get all the animals, you just forward on to the next level. At this point, the level color is going to change, which I'm a huge fan of. And of course, something changes in the map. The layout changes slightly, and now they insert moving clouds as obstacles that you now have to fly around. I'm not sure how clouds are that much of an obstacle for a biplane, but they are. This game does a lot of things that I look for in a good Atari 2600 game. First, it has a jingle at the beginning of the game, and music, even if it's only a little bit at the beginning. It's always nice. It helps break up the monotony. Also, this game gives us different map layouts. They're not huge levels to start with, and I can't say the variety is huge, but there's a definite difference here. And of course they also change the color of the levels. I know a color change is a really simple thing, but it goes a long way to breaking up monotony of any level, especially for the type of a game that you're going to want to play it over and over again. For an example like this, if you think of bowling for the Atari 2600, this is a decent game. However, it's the most boring color scheme ever. If you want to play this for a long period of time, it gets so drab. Well, that's why they have mods online, I guess. So, like many Atari 2600 games, this game is a pretty good waste of time for a few minutes before you move on to another cartridge. Now, some Atari games are a total waste of time, but some of them, they're fun to get in rotation. I like this one just fine, but the sound effect that you're playing flying, although I guess it sounds appropriate to a flying biplane, it's like a drill boring into my skull, so I usually turn the volume down, and I turn on a stereo to help get through the sounds. I have to say, in general, it seems that Parker Brothers was actually pretty good with their Atari 2600 games. They made a bunch of really popular games for the system. Most games more popular than this one, of course. But this is the company that gave us Frogger, Q*bert, Spider-Man, and Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, and Tutankhamun. They had a pretty solid library of games. Well, that's all I have today for Sky Skipper for the Atari 2600. Thanks for stopping by to take a look, and I'll catch you on another video. hopefully one with less violence towards gorillas.